Joining me now to take a closer look at how RMB's presence in the US is supporting American institutional investors with African solutions is Hendrik Fourie. He's head of institutional client group at RMB. Thanks so much, Hendrik, for your time today. So right at the top, tell us about RMB's securities US business and what exactly it's putting on the table for US investors.
Thank you very much. So what we aim to do is to build on the success that we've had in the UK market. So we'll be setting up a very similar business model where we give US institutional investors a one-stop shop for instruments that they can access relating to securities markets on the African continent. So that means bonds, FX, derivative instruments in time. We give them access to a single booking location and trade during US hours.
So you're opening up access. What would you say is the appeal? Why is Africa an attractive investment destination for US investors?
So what we have seen over many years is that the African markets form a very important part of a diversified emerging market portfolio. Now, obviously, that depends on many factors, where US rates are, where volatility is at any point in time. But what we do see is consistent interest through time, and I think it's important that investors stay alive to the opportunities on the continent. Perhaps some are opportunistic, perhaps some are long-term, but we definitely see a place for Africa in any developed market portfolio.
So while that may be the investment case, Hendrik, I mean, are investors actually buying into it? What kind of institutional flows are you anticipating into these markets?
So interestingly enough, what we note is that many of the institutions that we've been dealing with in the UK also have operations in the US. So it's obviously very convenient for us to deal with us in the US rather than booking via the UK. So we see many of the big names interested. We've started making contact, and I must say the initial response has been hugely encouraging, and I think it'll be a sizable business for us in the future.
So we've got RMB positioning itself as the liquidity provider of choice within these markets, right? The liquidity challenge is still a very big one across the African continent. How exactly does RMB help institutional investors navigate the liquidity challenge?
I think we should not shy away from the fact that there are liquidity challenges in these markets, and there's ups and downs. At times there's liquidity in West Africa, at times there's liquidity in East Africa. But this is where local knowledge plays such an important part in helping our institutional clients navigate these markets.
Yeah. Realistically speaking, though, Hendrik, how competitively can flows in and out of these jurisdictions be executed?
So I think a key thing that we bring is exactly that local edge. So often these markets don't trade on an exchange. There's no open order books. So it really is understanding exactly where you can source the liquidity. And this is for whether people are buying or selling. And equally, our in-country businesses face the same challenge. They're also looking for liquidity. They're also looking to get in and out of positions. And that is where RMB is uniquely positioned to bridge that gap between the offshore and the onshore markets.
Of course, like you say, access to opportunity. That's key, right? Why should an investor choose RMB in particular when choosing to invest in Africa?
We've given careful thought to our business model, and what truly sets us apart is that we offer clients access to local sales desks, local traders, on-the-ground research. We've got businesses in a lot of these markets. And that's something that we've seen as a gap in the market. We've seen many of our competitors over the years pull away from the continent, where we've actually leaned in and set up fully fledged trading operations in many of these markets.